Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Hopefully you have a nice coffee or drink in your hand and you're able to just chat with us this morning. We want to just take some time to just be together and just to do some review and to look ahead to what's happening in Lakeview as well too. I don't know if you know, but it's the beginning of December, so we have about 25 days to the countdown to Chris's birthday. That's actually what we're really looking forward to more than anything.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I would like to go on record and just set something straight, because I don't know what my kids have told you. I'm not that old. I mean, they keep trying to tell people I'm turning 50. I'm not the one on this stage doing that, all right? So dial it back. If my kids have been like, yeah, my dad is, no, just don't believe it. That's all I'm going to say. I have no problem with being the age I am. I want to be clear about that. I have no problem with it, but let's not add.
You see, I share a birthday with Elvis Presley, and that's kind of my claim to fame. But you share the birthday with the king of the world, like of the universe. I mean, man, what a cool
we'll take
birthday to
twinsies.
have, hey?
Yeah, we'll take matching his and his gifts. And, that's all good.
Well, people count down 25 days out. Advent calendars, all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't hate.
Yeah,
I'm not hating any of this. I just want to be clear. It's been fine. People often will be like, "Oh, does it really? Like, it's got to be awful." I'm like, it is what it is. It's never been a bad thing.
it's what you know. Yeah,
That's right. I've never had to go to school on my birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I have. Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Well, hopefully you're taking some time to think about, to anticipate, to look forward and find some expectancy that God is going to do something in this month for you as well too. And on that note, that's what we talked about this last Sunday.
Yeah.
And Jeff, can you walk us through just some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah. What we said on Sunday. It's funny because we've actually had that theme on Easter as well. Mm-hmm. Expectancy. It's a theme that I really struggle with because I have a lot of expectations for things and I'm disappointed. So at one point I tried to not have expectation at all, but that's not good either, because then you're never. I don't know what you are at that point. I forget how I felt when I was trying to do that, but expectancy is kind of like, that's really cool, like God's doing something. What is it? What can I how can I be involved? How can I experience it? It's more like it's dependent rather on something solid, right? On God rather than on my own desires of what I hope will happen. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
One thing that it really one thing that it just pushes me towards is I'm missing the passage, but essentially saying, don't fall asleep at the wheel when it comes to your faith. Mm-hmm. I think it's in James, right? So he's talking about the fact that you need to be ready for what God is going to do and lead you to. Mm. And Chris is giggling.
I'm giggling because that's a beautiful translation. Because James is famous for his automobile metaphors.
but the fact that it's like saying, be ready. Yeah. Don't just get lulled into sleep, into faith. Well, this is what we do every single year. And, even like you said, when you have expectation of a gift or a certain thing, well, I asked for that on Christmas Day, and you open up all the gifts, and then that thing isn't there. Mm-hmm. You have expectation, and you're disappointed. Yeah. But expectancy says, be prepared for whatever is going to come, and it might actually left turn, right? Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, what I think faith very much needs to be about is a readiness to shift gears, a readiness to follow Christ wherever he leads, especially when it's like, I don't know if we're supposed to go there, but okay. And then all of a sudden, God does something amazing, right? Yeah. And that's what the disciples were messed up with all the time, I think, because they were always playing catch up, right?
Well, they had expectations of what Jesus should be about, and when he wasn't. But they actually were more towards expectancy than the Pharisees, because the Pharisees were just like, this is what the Messiah will do, you're gone, right? Like they
Yeah.
totally rejected him. But we've
Chris, what's your driving metaphor?
Yeah, my let's see. Today it's keep four wheels rolling. I think is a good one for weather like this. Anyways, no. How often though? And I appreciate that you hit on this in the sermon too, right? Our expectations often let us down, but at both ends of the spectrum. Yeah. So I think back on all the times I've had really high expectations for something, and it never lived up, and you kind of go away going, this isn't great. And it can be anything from maybe a coffee that someone just talked up and you're like, go in for a sip and you're thinking it's going to be like knock your socks off and you're like, oh, it's okay. But the other end of the spectrum is if we have like super low expectations or almost no expectations, or we think very poorly of something, it actually, sure, yeah, if we still do it, try it, whatever, we will have a favorable opinion. But how often when our expectations are so low, we just don't even engage? Yeah. We're like, it's not going to be worth it. Yeah. I got better things to do with my time, so I'm just, and I wonder if that's what people who came to Jesus had, how many people just missed Jesus because they're like, they had like almost no, like super low expectation. They expected him to let them down, I guess is what I'm going to say. And but in the same, like you pointed out in the sermon, I think, right? Like, and just now, the Pharisees missed him because he didn't meet it. Their expectation was the Messiah was this. He wasn't it. He is, you have to take him as he is. And whether that's baby in the manger or, king on the cross.
And with low expectation, what that also does is it fosters a culture of path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Let's aim for the lowest, and then all of a sudden we're confused why things just aren't working out, or why we've become lazy or apathetic or anything like that, right? It's because we've just kind of given up on that side as well too, right?
Yeah.
I have to.
No, sorry. Because also I think it matters. Because even as I was thinking about church one time, if you come to a Sunday gathering with an expectation, I think we find ourselves also in that same routine. Yeah. We show up, we stand, we sing, we sit, we listen, we do our thing, we walk out. Expectancy says, I think God's going to do something amazing, right? Yeah. And expectation says either nothing's going to happen or something wild is going to happen, and you might be disappointed on both sides when God does show up, or when God says, no, you're not. Your heart's not in it. Sorry, Jeff.
No, you want to say something too. We kind of intentionally changed the service a little bit to reflect that, but I was just going to say, I'm sorry, Cheryl. I'm going to praise up my wife a little bit, but
you don't have to apologize.
She. When I think about it, she demonstrates expectancy and has helped me with expectancy a lot, because she'll be like, oh, that's so cool, let's try that. Oh, that's so cool, let's try that. And I'm always like, I'm picking up the pieces from all these projects she's starting, but she just has an expectancy that this, like she'll find something and she just wants to see everything. And I think that's part, man, what would it be like to be more and more like that, where God's doing that over there, and he's doing that over there, and let's watch this, and let's go there, and I tend to be overwhelmed, like, how am I gonna, but it's not about me, it's about what he's doing, right? And moving more towards trust in his greatness, that he can deal with it all. Sorry, how are you?
No, I was gonna say, it's great, and it's one of those themes that is throughout Scripture. Like, where my mind was, imagine, okay, oh man, I always get Elijah and Elisha mixed up. I know I should know better. But it was Elijah, right, in the cave. Right, with God passing by. Yeah. And imagine if, there was the earthquake and nothing, and Elijah goes, well, okay, that's it, I'm out of here. Right? Because how often would we even do that? We'd be like, we expect God to do A, doesn't happen, okay, moving on. Got things to do, places to do, kings to run from. But instead he stayed put and he waited because he trusted that God was true to his word, and that was what went above everything else. And I think that's what needs to be what we hold on to, is that God is always true to his word first and foremost. And whether it's he said a king was coming, or he said a king is coming again, that's what's happening. Yeah. And we can, find a steadfastness in that because that's really where our expectancy lies. Is
Yeah.
that first and foremost, God is true to His word.
Yeah, yeah, and Jesus is coming again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of what we said about Advent. We anticipate the memory, right, of what He'd done, but we're also in the middle, so we're anticipating Him coming again. So
Yeah.
Advent's kind of a dual
Yeah.
thing for us, which is
Well,
really cool.
and last year when we did Advent as like a very central thing, that one family evening or gathering or whatever,
Yeah.
those two words have now stuck with me. To come.
Yeah.
Advent.
Yeah.
And that changes a lot of my approach towards this next month as well too. Right? What is to come?
Yeah.
It's not the Christmas day to come. It's
Right.
Christ is yet to come. We still need to look forward to that. What does that mean? Okay, how are we going to live out all of these things?
You know, my brother-in-law was helping me fix my roof a few years back, had a little leak over the garage, and I would have sworn it was Christmas time because he kept saying, Advent? Advent?
Oh, that took me longer than it should have.
Anyways,
On that note,
no,
yeah.
yeah. So to get us back, I will say that I also think, you know, this is a, you know, expectancy, awesome. It could have been even the message for December 11th. It's such, I think, an important theme that don't be surprised when you come and watch our kids, your kids, my kids, everybody's kids, because they're kids of Lakeview, on December 11th in the performance. It kind of has a similar kind of theme, you know, that out of the boxness that we will explore, that side of expectation. That sometimes you don't always get what you think.
That sense of readiness of like, okay, we're just going to run with it.
Right. And
See-
what really is
see
the
what God
central,
does.
most important thing that we need to hold on to regardless of what goes on around.
Yeah.
Similar to last year of like, don't miss the manger.
Yeah.
Right. Like if everything was there and everything was perfect and in place and there was no baby Jesus, the Christmas story is kind of just a story about shepherds and other
It's
things.
a story of a road trip
Yeah.
that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not
it
necessarily
would be
Emmanuel.
It would be a how not to start your marriage story if it wasn't for Jesus.
So you mentioned December 11th. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about
Absolutely.
one of you guys? More about what it
I don't
is?
know. Paper Brexers.
Hopefully you've heard about it, but we just want to remind you. Yeah.
December 11th is an out-of-the-box Christmas.
Our kids' drama.
Our kids' drama.
Yeah.
They have been
our kids' drama.
our kids.
Yeah.
It's it's the kids of Lakeview in Acts 29 who are the greater Lakeview drama community. Who will be they've been working like crazy
Many weeks
to learn lines and songs and
4
all
hours
stuff.
on a Sunday. That's a long time for some of these little guys. So yeah.
And I am super excited. I get a sneak peek on Sunday as a parent. But you know what? There's only one performance, right? They're just doing it at 10 a.m. on the 11th. So you're going to want to be here and be here early to get good seats.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's about 2 weeks from now. Pulling back to this week, we're finishing this week with our West Kelowna Light Up, which is happening on Brown Road this Friday night, December 2nd.
Correct.
And we're still looking for some people to help in attend.
Absolutely. We got a great group of volunteers signed up to help. But hey, if you're got time, you want to come check it out, just walk up and say, hey, can I help for a bit? You know, that's always great opportunity to either spell someone out or just more the merrier, because if we have to rub shoulder to shoulder, we'll stay warmer. Because it is going to be chilly, but it's just going to be fun.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm most excited about it, is that we get to, obviously not everybody has the same views about Christmas, but we're all together in this, and it's just fun to be with our community.
Yeah.
And whether you're celebrating the twinkling lights on a tree or the light of the world, we're still there together.
Yeah, no matter who you are, the moment of like turning that light on and hearing the, uproarious, that's pretty awesome and pretty special. So that's this Friday night. And then the day after, Saturday the 3rd, we're having the Women's Christmas Night here. hopefully you've all got your tickets and everything is good to go, and we will see you then. And that's going to be a wonderful night, and that's going to be the 12 days of Christmas, and you're going to be served, and it'll be a wonderful night. We have a great guest speaker as well too, and yeah, we look forward to that. And so that's this Saturday night. So there was another thing.
Oh yeah, we wanted to just, we haven't talked a lot about it, but if you are interested in being a member of Lakeview Heights, we want to start reminding you that that's something that's really an important part of the life of Lakeview. Mm-hmm. I don't know if either one of you guys want to say a little bit more, but at our AGM, which is coming up in January, we're already thinking January because it's not that far away. That's when we would welcome new members. So if you're interested, let us know. Baptism as well.
And sometimes there's confusion about what membership is. Membership is just saying Lakeview is home, and I want to know and care and be involved. And a lot of people who are not members are serving on a Sunday morning. A lot of people who are members are just here and they do their thing, and they are just saying this place is home, and I love being a part of this. And so it gives you the opportunity to speak into what's happening in some of our direction, and in the new year, like Jeff said, that we're going to have our AGM, and you get to kind of be a part of that and be a part of the vote. And so members vote, but everybody is going to be welcome to that. So we'll tell you more about that in the future. But what are you going to say, Chris?
Well, I was going to add that there's something connected with membership, and that is baptism. And it is we look for people to be baptized before they're members. And I don't know, it's likely there's some in our community who maybe haven't been baptized, but have thought, I want to know more about that, or maybe, hey, why not start 2023 by taking a deeper step in discipleship and commitment to Jesus by being baptized. And so it's another one of those things that we don't talk about every week, but as we kind of wind down the year, it's conceivable that it's something that we need to just remind people of, that it's we do it because we want to walk closer with Jesus, and it's something he did and invited and encouraged us to do. And so it's something that we would also encourage you to consider baptism, consider membership. And if you want to know more about that, maybe you're new to church or new to faith and you're like, what is that? What those are funny words. Come talk to us.
There is information on our website, but even just come talk to us, and we would love to chat with you and just even just ask questions. Okay, what does that mean? Right? Get specifics. Great, we can talk to you about that.
Right. What does it mean? And it doesn't have to be like, I've had conversations over the years with people who are like, oh, those are intimidating things. Yeah. And they don't have to. I totally appreciate how they are. I don't want to, I'm not belittling anyone who is intimidated by those things, but it doesn't need to be intimidating. Sometimes just a little clarity and a good conversation can take the edge off it. So, yeah.
So that's kind of where we're headed, and then our Sundays are rolling out, and then there's December 11th, and then we're heading towards the December 23rd, an evening together. And so we want to invite you and encourage you to consider that and circle that on your calendar, and then Christmas Day, we can hang out here together and just have a wonderful time together. And thank you for being with us today. We hope that you are using this time and this week to live with expectancy and not expectation, and realize that Jesus is the greatest gift of all, and he's huge. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Does he come wrapped in a pretty red bow?
Well, if you expect him to, he won't.
These are swaddling cloths, right? Just